Shari Criso, and this is My Baby Experts. It's the #1 web TV show for new and expecting parents on the internet. And we have a very special episode where I wanted to talk about prenatal yoga, yoga in general for pregnancy, for birth, for having a healthy, wonderful birth, and also how to continue with that practice as you move beyond the delivery into motherhood. So we have a very special guest, and I'm going to bring her on with me right now. Her name is Sara Longacare, and she is a yoga instructor. She is the founder and owner of the Bluma Yoga Center in, I'm going to say it wrong, of course, the Bluma Prenatal Yoga Center in Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
there she is. Hi, see, I told you, chime in here.
Wednesday night, everyone.
Great. Tell me how you got started, and how long has your center been there?
Yeah, great question. So I've been a doula for over 12 years. I actually worked in the corporate world out in Portland, Oregon for Nike. And I, discovered this work of being a doula. I was kind of cloned as the Nike doula because I'd stalk all these women as I walked around the headquarters. I started taking births and I realized my 401k was really, really nice, but did I really want to follow my passion? Yes.
Right.
So I started attending births, came back home to Minneapolis, and I was a yoga practitioner myself. I've been practicing for a long time, and I would see these women, and they were doing these movements, these squats, these inhales and exhales and lifting, and that's what we were doing. We were doing yoga and dance and movement, and Minneapolis was desperate for more prenatal yoga teachers. There was very, very few.
Right.
Went out in California, got my certification, came back. Within 3 months, I had 10 classes a week, and it was packed.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I found my voice. I found my passion, and I realized the power of yoga for birth.
Yeah.
And after 3 years of teaching at wonderful studios in Minneapolis that really supported me, I realized we need a place just for women. Most prenatal yoga classes are held at very odd times, Saturdays at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's not convenient.
Right.
Maybe they've got one night class a week. I wanted to make a statement to the Twin Cities and say, you know what, prenatal moms, they need primetime classes. So we have 33 yoga classes in one studio a week.
Wow. That's a lot of yoga going on.
It's a lot of yoga and a lot of bellies. It's beautiful.
It's fantastic. And from there, you created a DVD program, did you not?
We did. Basically what happened is that people kept leaving the Twin Cities. They'd move, they'd have a girlfriend, and they'd say, oh, Sarah, there's no Bluma where we are. And, oh, what do we do? I finally said, enough is enough. I've got to make a DVD. I've got to, and I thought it would be no big deal. Like, let's just do a little thing. Well, it ended up being a full, amazing production. And I knew, again, this piece about birth had to be on there. So what we did is we did a 60-minute prenatal yoga sequence. 5 of the women are in it in all different stages of pregnancy. And it's an intense practice. The beautiful thing, you get to watch these women give birth. These women were so brave. They invited myself and the cameras into their births, and they are doing yoga poses. They're not scripted. They're just doing them from the heart. They're doing it because it what feels natural.
Yeah.
And you watch them birth their beautiful babies.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, we're going to be giving
the
away.
educational part is what people need. We need to be watching births and hearing the noises.
Definitely.
So
Let's you know what, we really want to do something a little different tonight before we start, because our show, if you've watched our show before, it's very, very upbeat. We're always having a lot of fun and laughing, and sometimes we never take the time to really come together, ground ourselves, and really get in that centered space. And tonight would be the most appropriate time to do that. So I asked Sarah if she would just take a short few minutes or a minute to just do a centering with us, to bring us all to a place in our heart space so that we can proceed with the rest of the show and get a little bit of a feeling of what it is to center our mind that way. Would you do that for us, Sarah?
Absolutely. What an honor.
Yeah. So everybody in the chat room, I'm going to ask you right now, okay? This is an unusual request. I want everybody to stop chatting for just 1 minute. Okay, put your hands down, take them off the keyboards. I see you all. You can't help yourself, right? I want you to close your eyes, and we're going to take a minute, and Sarah's going to lead us, okay? We'll be back.
Thank you, Shari. So wherever you are in this moment, whether you are on the chat room or cleaning dishes or doing laundry. Just invite yourself to just sit down either on the floor or the couch. Go ahead and take a really nice deep breath in through your nose, down into your belly. When you're ready, just go ahead and exhale deep out of your mouth. We'll take another deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, just sighing it out. So I invite you here, just continue a really beautiful, nice breath. It's round and it's full. Go ahead and just close your eyes. Just let everything go. Take a few moments to really feel the back of your body being supported by your couch or your chair. Go ahead and feel your feet. Maybe you root both of your feet down onto the floor. Begin to soften your tongue and your shoulders and your teeth. And just notice for a few moments here what it's like to really come into the awareness of your breath. Letting the whole entire body begin to breathe in and breathe out. When you're ready, it might feel good just to take a soft smile onto your face and to come back into that place of unconditional love for your body and your heart. Whether you're pregnant or not, whether you're mom, a father, wherever you are in this journey, just really embracing everything that we have to be grateful for. We are so blessed, each and every one of us. So just taking a moment to really feel that gratitude. You can place your hands now maybe onto your heart, maybe onto your belly, and just go ahead and draw the chin to your chest to take a really good, deep cleansing breath into the back of the body. And when you're ready, just slowly begin to open your eyes. Keeping a soft smile on your face, begin to draw the crown of the head back up and take another breath and just notice what that was like to just slow down and to be mindful and really connect to the essence, the beautiful, beautiful light that you are. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Sara. Yeah, that was fantastic.
So important to do that throughout the day.
Thank you.
And it's challenging, I know.
I'm feeling so good right now. So nice and relaxed.
It's amazing what happens when we close our eyes and just really sink into that beautiful place in the heart center and just simply say hello. Just say hello to who you are without judgment.
It's just so easy as the day goes on and we get busy, and you know, whether we're working or we're taking care of children or moving around, going along with our usual tasks, to forget to really check in with ourselves and to really get connected with that peaceful place within ourselves every single day. And even a small amount of that can make a huge, huge difference. I want to
huge difference. And I think that we live so much in our head, and we don't live from our heart center or that gut instinct, that gut intuition.
Yes.
And if you can just take your hands onto your belly and just really find some deep breaths, even before you go to the grocery store, you know, before you call your mother-in-law.
Yes.
Whatever you have going on that feels like a lot.
Yes.
It doesn't have to feel as overwhelming.
Yes.
When you can just really sink in and say, here I am. And
And
that's what we need in birth, right? Just being really present with one inhale and one exhale at a time.
Well, I think that's so important. And when I am a midwife, and I've spent so many years working with laboring women, and now as an educator teaching moms during pregnancy to prepare for childbirth. And it's always, to me, you know, the number one thing you can do to prepare yourself is to prepare your mind, to really get connected with yourself, to really, release the fears, the worries, the anxieties, and to do that during the pregnancy so that you're practiced at it, you know, to go into labor thinking that you're going to do some deep breathing and relax may not work as well, definitely will not work as well if you haven't been doing it all along, so it's something familiar to you.
And sometimes when we relax and we breathe, painful memories, thoughts, fears come up.
That's so true.
And they're supposed to come up.
Yes.
Because they just want attention and they want love. And if we shove it down,
yes.
it's going to come up in your birth.
So let's talk a little bit about, so many times people say, well, I'm just too busy, or I don't have the money to go to a class, or I just don't have the time for this. I mean, what are some of the things that you want to say about this? Because I know that it doesn't take much, does it?
No. I literally invite people to, it's a challenge, but if you can take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes a day.
That's it, 5 to 10 minutes.
That's it. You don't need a yoga mat.
Yeah.
I love when women step out of the shower butt naked, put on your lotion, whip your hair up in a ponytail, do whatever you need to do, and just say, you know what, I'm going to take 5 minutes to inhale my arms up over my head.
Yes.
To exhale, bow forward. You might never do a down dog. You're fine. You might come onto all fours and just sway your hips.
Yes.
That 5 to 10 minutes, maybe in the morning, maybe in the mid-afternoon, maybe before you go to bed, you're going to start seeing the benefits, and then you're going to want more. You're going to go, oh, wait, I need more time. Absolutely. It's super simple. And I think the big thing is people think, oh, I have to get the outfit, the mat, I have to look a certain way, I have to do this. You don't.
Right.
I think there's amazing online support. I think purchasing the Bluma Prenatal Yoga DVD, play it for 5 minutes. Play it for 10 minutes. Just do the seated part so that you can take that time. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. It's that simple.
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't have to be in perfect physical shape in order to do this either.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, I had a mom tonight in class that had never been to a prenatal yoga class before. She said she hasn't done anything physical in the past year. She's just been trying to get pregnant. And she was amazing.
Yeah.
You be creative.
Yeah.
Just like in birth, there's no right or wrong way to do it.
Yes.
So can you just stand and reach your arms and just start to feel where the body wants to take you? That's yoga.
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't need to be hard, and you don't want to push yourself either. That's another part of it. Tell us a little bit about the benefits, because there are so many benefits during pregnancy. Let's go over some of what specifically. There's a lot of people who start their yoga practice when they're pregnant. Isn't that true?
It is. At Bluma, we've been open for 5 years now, and we have done the research. We run reports often. 70% of our mothers have never done yoga.
I can totally believe that. Yeah.
Start.
Yeah,
absolutely. Whether they're not going to run anymore, or they think, this is what I need to do. What they realize is, sometimes that first trimester is the hardest. Because you're exhausted, you're physically, doing down dog, you're kind of going, what's coming up out of my mouth and burping, normal stuff.
Right.
And what we realize is as you start early in your second trimester, you are going to have a stronger and stronger practice, so that when you are 40 weeks and you never ever thought that you could do these poses, you would be amazed at what you can do. So number one, I think the benefit is just really self-confidence. Taking the time to say, I love you to yourself. And that sounds so silly, right? Like, who goes around being like, I love you?
Yeah.
If you can't be a role model and love yourself, where's your baby going to get that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think that's one of the main benefits, is just saying hello to yourself, checking out who you are today, meeting yourself. Number two is obviously the physical. So it's the blood circulation, it's the flow. It's the fact that most women in this country, we're sitting behind a desk, we're sitting on our couches. We need to get up and we need to get moving and grooving, and we need to let that low back breathe, and we need to get our babies in really good positions for birth.
Yeah, I mean, that's so true. In this country, we really don't do a lot of the different positions that other people do in other countries, or how they've done for hundreds of thousands of years, and I think it's important that we stretch our bodies. Labor is hard physical work, and we want to prepare, and so yoga is the perfect way to stretch the body and also to prepare the mind at the same time. It's just that beautiful blend of the two.
Absolutely. And I think that's something that, we get a lot of at Bluma. People are like, I thought it'd be prenatal yoga. You kind of sit around and om and rub your belly and, maybe do 4 or 5 poses. They are shocked when they leave a first class. They do not realize really how, it's intense. If you watch the prenatal yoga DVD that we put out, it's a really intense practice.
Yeah.
The reason for that is, number one, because when you're giving birth, you can say, I did that, I can do this.
Yes. Yes.
We have all of these postnatal moms come back to Bloomer with their babies and say, thank you for the strong, powerful classes. That's what I use in my birth. And it does a nice balance. Yes, we have Shavasana, we relax. Yes, we do meditation. But there's a significant half an hour in the middle of class. We're not messing around.
That's great. And I think that, people take it at their own pace, but probably you see yourself progressing fairly quickly as you keep going. I know that for me, when I've done it, it went pretty quickly that I was able to do more and more as I did more and more.
It's huge. I mean, when moms come to the first class, they go, I don't know if I can do this. And I say, just get it 3 more times. By the 3rd time, they're like, I got this. I got this.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. You just don't want to give up. I mean, my advice would be for people, if you don't have a place to practice, get a DVD. If you do have a place and you don't care for the teacher the first time or you feel uncomfortable, go back. It might be a different teacher. There might be a different style. Don't let that one time throw you off and leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Oh, that's such good advice, because it's not like, you just like anything. If you're not happy with your practitioner, if you're not happy with your teacher, you change. And that doesn't, shouldn't put a bad taste in your mouth about the whole practice in general. So it's a great question.
You always have choices.
So the first question came in from, so this is exactly what we were just talking about. This is from Katie Johnson. Hi, Katie, from Arizona. And Katie,
that's my alma mater. Go ahead, you.
I see her there in the chat room. Yes, Katie, we're going to answer your question right now, and you're going to win a DVD. Katie asks, I heard that doing squats can help prevent tearing in delivery. Is that true?
Great question. I'm extremely passionate, Katie, about squats. When, we just mentioned how we've been living for thousands of years, the importance of being in our squatting position. That's how women, and still do around the world, cook, clean, wash their clothes. They sit in front of their fires. I mean, this is huge. Do I think it's going to prevent tearing? I'm not going to say yes or no on that. Do I think it helps overall?
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
100%. The only time we want to avoid squats, from my experience, if you're after 36 weeks and your baby is breech.
Yes. Okay. Fantastic to know. And let me jump in here as a midwife. And we talked about tearing last week, so it's interesting that the conversation is coming up again. Do I think that doing squats during pregnancy is going to help to prevent tearing? I don't think that it's going to help to prevent tearing, but I do think that birthing in the squatting position can help to prevent tearing. So if your legs and your body is strong to be in that position, it's going to support you. And as we talked about last week, that in addition to slow controlled deliveries, we talked about this. Those are the things that are going to help to prevent tearing. But by squatting, what are you essentially doing? You're opening the pelvis. You're making more room. You're making it easier for your baby to pass the birth canal. And like Sarah said, that we don't usually use that position, so those muscles are not strengthened.
And when we squat in our class, so much about what we talk about is just being patient. And you said it perfectly: slow and controlled birth, so that you can be patient. When your baby's head is crowning, to not push too fast. You're just really gentle, and all of us really, when we're having, excuse my lovely language, but we can talk about it on the show.
Yes.
When we're having bowel movement, we should be actually squatting. An amazing teacher, Leslie Howard in California, talks about having to put books on the sides of your toilet so that your feet can be and your knees can be higher, and you're almost sitting on your toilet. And that's actually better for us.
Wow. Yeah. You know what? It's probably, well, think about it. Okay. People didn't have toilets forever. So now we're really going somewhere here with this. But if you think about again how the position is, and even if you're in the middle of delivery and you're not squatting with your feet on the floor, if your legs are back, if you're sitting up with your legs back, what are you essentially doing? You're squatting.
Squatting. What are you doing when you're on all fours and you push back to child's pose and you're pushing? You're squatting.
Exactly. It's all to open the pelvis. So squatting is a great question here, and it's a big part of yoga practice. Isn't that true?
Absolutely. We typically, incorporate it throughout the whole sequence, and then we do hold it for 1 to 2 full minutes, just so moms. And it's hard because half the moms, they're like, I don't love this pose because it's challenging. The other half are like, I could squat all class, Sarah.
Yeah. And if you can't squat, holding on to something.
And putting a block or pillows or bolster underneath your bottom.
Yep.
That's just as much benefit. And you don't have to feel stressed out. You never have to feel stressed out.
Definitely.
That's the last thing you want to do in a squat.
Definitely. This question came in from Shannon in New York, okay? And Shannon asked, can yoga help with for a VBAC birth? What if the C-section was done less than 1 year before birth? So she's asking about, does it support you for VBAC? And, you know, I'm sure you get a lot of people coming into your studio, into your center, who are VBACing, planning a VBAC, have had a previous C-section.
It's obviously it's so common now with the high percentage of cesarean rates. You know, we have a class that's just focused on VBAC support, but what we offer at Bluma in our prenatal yoga class, which you can find, a sense of community.
Yeah.
You're not alone in your VBAC.
Yeah.
You physically have a woman sitting next to you who's like, me too, or I did it, or I'm scared to do one.
Yes.
It gives you a sense of community to help you process.
Yes.
So that's the emotional part, right? The other emotional part is really getting in tune with how was your last birth? How does it feel to think about it, to talk about it, to visualize your next birth? How does it feel to literally connect to that physical place in my body that hasn't opened, and how can I connect to that more? I mean, I could go on and on about VBACs because I just think that you're amazing, strong, beautiful women, and why not come onto your yoga mat and really tune in to where your body's talking?
Yes. Absolutely. And I'm sure that, you know, it's going to give women that extra stamina, that extra belief that, you know, so much about VBACing and vaginal birth in general is just that belief that you can do it, having that confidence that you can keep going, that you can go all the way with this, that you have that inner strength. And I think that any kind of practice, meditation practice, yoga practice during the pregnancy is going to only support that inner belief and inner strength. So
absolutely, and even if you're scheduling your second cesarean, it's going to be there with you.
Yep, absolutely.
And I just have to put this out there.
Yeah.
The Bluma blog last week had a mom, 2 cesareans, VBAC at home. Shari, as she is minutes away from holding her baby, the baby's head is crowning, and she's going, "This is awesome! This is awesome!"
Yes.
She's literally experiencing what she says, like, she told me, "Sarah, I was in my birth yoga position. That's how I did it."
Yep. I remember. I know those times. It's a fantastic mountaintop experience for sure.
It is, and it's such an honor to be a witness to it, and to encourage women, encourage women that they can do it.
Absolutely. Talk about you know, the birth process. You know, we were talking a little bit about this. You know, what can you do to, like, if you're in a hospital room, and you know you might not have a mat with you. You might not. What are some things that you can do to incorporate your yoga practice into your birth experience if you're not having a home birth?
Absolutely. This is something that I do, all the time as a doula. It's funny to think of, but we never raise our arms up high in the air when we're in labor.
Yeah.
And when you are standing just, next to your bed, if your bed's being raised up, if you can stretch your arms up as high as you can and just close your eyes and start to inhale and exhale, your baby has so much room maybe to move his or her head a little bit, to straighten out his or her body and get in a different position. You give your whole body a deeper breath because it's in through your lungs more, it's in through your rib cage, and then you just start to circle your hips.
Oh, it's a great thing.
Beautiful little circles. And then you reverse your circle, maybe do some figure eights. And then from there, you hold onto the side of the bed and you squat down during a contraction.
Yep. It's great.
From there,
you don't even have to
crawl
leave.
on the bed to all fours and you do some cat stretches. So just rounding your back real soft and gentle, circling your hips. The last 2 births I've been to, what the moms were doing, they were lunging, like literally the lunges we do in class. And that's how their babies came out because that's how their hips were wide.
Yep. Well, the more movement and the more that you change position and you keep moving around, the more it's going to enable your baby to maneuver themselves into the position to be able to be born. And the baby definitely has to do some maneuvering of the head to get into the birth canal. And the more that we walk and the more that we stretch our bodies, like Sarah said, give ourselves more room in our torso, I can totally see how that would make a huge difference.
You know, even something as just, even if you're sitting up tall on the floor in the bed and you just circle your head in some deep circles.
Yep.
And that's just bringing that good blood. It's stretching your head and neck out. I mean, really, really keep it simple. But you intuitively know how to do it. I mean, you truly do.
Definitely.
You don't need your yoga mat. What you do need, though, I think what I've really seen is that when you're practicing this more.
Yes.
When I mean more, I'm talking about 2 to 3 times a week.
Yes.
You know, if you can do it that often, you're amazing.
Yep.
You're going to just say, oh, yeah, this is my yoga move. I know how to do it. And it's a lot of it's about stamina, too.
Yeah.
You know, okay, I need to move my different position. Then I need to go. And then you know what? After this next contraction, I'm going to lay down and I'm just going to enjoy a break.
Yep, totally. And this is where, like you said, it doesn't take, you're talking about 3 to 4 times a week, but it doesn't have to be hour-long, you know, sessions. We can just do 10 minutes, 5 minutes, anything is going to be better than nothing.
Guilt that we just put on ourselves.
Yeah.
What I put on myself. Like,
Don't make this
intense practice.
Don't make yoga another reason to be upset with yourself, for sure.
Amen. Amen. No, like I said, just stay naked out of the shower.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, when your food's in the oven that you're cooking, you're like, okay, I got 8 minutes to decide to pull this out. What am I going to do right now?
Joe will be knocking on the bathroom door tomorrow, like, what are you doing in there?
I squatted on my toilet seat like Sarah the doula told me to.
I'm doing my yoga. Leave me alone. Sometimes
that's what it takes to then lock the door and say you need an extra 4 minutes in there.
Especially when the kids are like, Mommy, can you do my hair? Mommy.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No, and you can do it with the kids, you know? I mean, that's one thing that moms always say at Bluma. Oh, it's just so hard to do with my little ones. Well, we have childcare at Bluma, so that makes it a lot easier. But, you know, have them join in with you.
This one came from Shakita in South Carolina. Shakita. And Shakita asked, are there any special prenatal yoga positions that can easily be done by a toddler? My daughter is almost 2, and her birthday is on Sunday. Happy birthday. And loves to participate, but can't do some of the more advanced moves. You know, I know that you guys do sessions for, like, Mommy and Me, where people are doing it with their children. You also do children's classes, right?
Yes, we have tots, preschool, kids, tweens, the whole 9 yards.
Great. And so what are some positions that, you know, someone could do with their toddler? Because, you know, if you can get them involved and you can keep their attention, then you can get your 5 to 10 minutes in as well.
Oh, it's huge. And one thing that we do in my home and with my nephews and whatnot is you inhale and reach your arms up. And then when you exhale, you bring your hands to heart center and you say, I am special. And so when they're having a bad day, when they're having a temper tantrum, they bring their hands to heart center. We're just going to take 5 yoga breaths. And you just take those yoga breaths. Another way that you really have to think about this is getting on all fours and becoming an animal. So literally, you're down on the floor, and you're just going to do inhale, long spine, exhale, become a cat, and round your back, and meow, 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 meow.
Yep.
I mean, you're getting that benefit. Your child is joining you. Then from there, let's tuck our toes, lift our hips high to the sky, become a dog. Ruff, 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 ruff.
Yes. Children,
you guys are going to have fun doing this.
Especially if you're doing it in the bathroom in the morning and your child's not there.
Exactly.
Yeah, we get a little silly here. Anyway,
you have to become a tree. I mean, there's so many things you can do. Become a warrior, and you know, do all these animal noises. I mean, again, hello, let's prepare for birth. We got to inhale, and we got to. We had enough in this country.
We had a fabulous DVD that we bought for our children when they were younger. It was a yoga DVD for kids, where they were simulating different animal positions, and they were out in a zoo, and they were showing the animal, and then they were duplicating it. It was so great, and our kids would put it on by themselves. They loved it. They would get the exercise. They would stretch their bodies. They would pretend to be a crocodile, and it was just, they loved it. They totally loved it.
And that's what it's about. And then guess what? That yoga practice is going to continue for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
They're going to say, yeah, I'm going to go. You know, they want to start teaching it. They want to start playing with their friends and saying, let's have a yoga birthday party. Do you know how many of those we have at Bluma?
Oh, it's so great. What a great party. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. I'm good. Sarah, you're going to have to come out here and do a yoga party for us here.
Yay! I'll come out. We'll do a teacher training. We're going to train everybody in the East Coast. We've got an amazing teacher training program. And we're going to get all the East Coast and the West Coast, South, and everywhere. We're going to party it up with prenatal yoga, postnatal yoga. And everybody's going to feel so much better at the end of the day.
So great. So great. I want to talk about, so you've gone through we've talked about the pregnancy. We talked about the birth and the benefits of both. What if you've already had your baby? Can yoga help you to get back into your get back in shape, and physically, can it help you to regain back to your pre-pregnancy birth weight and body weight?
Yeah, I mean, not only do I think that it brings you back to all of that, but the biggest thing is it's 3 a.m,
mm-hmm.
and you're exhausted,
mm-hmm.
and you are holding your screaming baby,
mm-hmm.
and you know that you can take those deep breaths in and those deep breaths out, and you can get really grounded back in your body. I mean, that's huge,
yes,
right?
Yes.
When you know that you are trying to get out the door and you're late to something and you're packing your bags and you're going, I can't do this, you take your deep breaths, and that's huge. But yes, I believe that being mindful physically is going to be mindful in mind, body, and spirit, and you're just going to make better choices.
Yes, absolutely. I can't think of a better time to be putting your yoga practice into practice than postpartum. It's a stressful time, not getting enough sleep. I just remember with my first baby, it was like, wow, like really? I didn't know it was going to be this hard. I just didn't know. And I had been around births and babies for years and years and years, but there was nothing like coming home with my first baby. It was just such a shocking experience. And I think, if I had this, and I didn't at the time, I didn't know, but if I had that practice already going to continue with it, I think it would have done a lot for my mental well-being.
It does, and again, it's that huge part of community. So if you do have the community where you can go to a mom and baby yoga class,
yes,
you are going to realize that you're really not alone.
Yeah.
And that's that community of just looking at another mom and going, how'd you sleep last night?
Totally.
How's your love relationship, right?
Totally. Yeah.
All of these things, that is going to be such a benefit too. And if you don't have that in the community, again, you can purchase a mom and baby DVD, something for you and your baby to do together. It's so good for baby's digestion. It's so great for bonding. So the benefits are long.
They are,
long list.
Absolutely, and especially when hormones are just raging at that point, and people are at risk for postpartum depression. Not only will it help you to relax, center you, but like you said, if you can find a place where you can get out, be with other moms like you, breastfeed with other moms. I'm sure moms are breastfeeding in your center. It's such a
boobs galore.
Boobs galore. I can just imagine. I'd love to see a clip of your DVD. Can we do that right now?
I'm Sara Longacare, doula and prenatal yoga instructor, and founder of Bluma, a pre- and postnatal yoga studio for moms and their babies. Inhale, stretch and reach. Give baby lots of room here, lifting ribs high. Exhale, releasing the hands onto the thighs or the knees, keeping the eyes closed. So what does it feel like to be rooted in the earth? Right foot moving right into goddess. So sinking deep in the hips, opening the palms to the sky. Beautiful. Now relax. That's our babies and our bodies. Go ahead and close your eyes. Finding the balance of the yoga right now in this. Again, let's connect to the energy in the earth. Yoga is such an amazing way to sink beneath the choppy surface of our minds and to come into our bodies and connect with our babies. This yoga practice can then move into your birth. On your next inhale, left leg extends high to the sky. Spreading your toes, making sure that the left armpit is moving down, shoulders square. Go ahead and rise up to the ball of the right foot. On your next exhale, bending the knee, moving it We have a secret in our culture, and it's not that birth is hard. We know it is. It's that women are strong and powerful. Exhale, opening the arms into triangle pose, Trigonasana. The left side of the body. Exhale to release. So I invite you into Bluma, and I invite you into the prenatal yoga sequence that we've created here. You're going to find that balance of where you can let go and where you have an inner wisdom and strength that is greater than anything you've ever tapped into. Gently reverse. Moving belly, softening hips. Let onto your baby. Just taking nice big open circles, whatever they need to here. This is a wonderful sequence. Lots of movement, hard work, and breath. Take it with you into your birth. I wish each one of you a safe and healthy and peaceful birth. Namaste.
So great, Sarah. I'm going to be doing that with my own belly, even though I'm not pregnant. Just love.
It's so funny. Other people have purchased them. They said, Sarah, this is what I need afterwards. It just brings me back into that goddess place because there's so much dancing and it's yummy. It is.
Absolutely. Just to let your body go like that and to just sway and, it's got to feel so good. But yeah, I'm going to be doing it myself.
It might be like the most sensual you've felt in a long time. And I say, why not feel that?
Yeah,
you deserve it.
Why not? Let's do some more questions. I got a couple more questions, a few more prizes. And let's see, can you believe this whole night went by already? It goes fast, doesn't it? Okay.
Oh my gosh, unreal.
Isn't it crazy? Okay, so the next question came from, this was a good question. This came from Amy in Arkansas. Okay, and Amy asked, using yoga to get back in shape after her baby. So this is what we were just talking about with postpartum yoga. I've tried it before along with other exercise routines, but stopped because my knees were hurting me and I ended up injuring them. I have a hard time getting the correct form without causing pain in my knees. Can I alter the poses to what's comfortable and still get the full benefits of yoga? Good question.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Fabulous question. Absolutely. Really getting a teacher that is mindful about using props. And I think that's something that people think is like, oh, I don't want props. But you need 2 blankets and 2 mats under your knees. You need to maybe lift your core in and up a little bit more so there's not so much pressure. And finding the right classes, so possibly a restorative yoga class, maybe a gentler yoga class. Because if you're doing a balance of cardio, it sounded like you had some other working, things that were working for you physically. That's a little bit of weightlifting, whatnot. Let your yoga be the balance to a busy life and give your knees a chance to stretch and breathe without forcing anything. It never should be painful.
Yeah, no, that's such a good point. And, that question is very personal for me, too, because I have a knee issue. And as I'm thinking about going back to yoga practice here, I guess I'll be calling you, Sarah, to ask for some advice about what I need to be doing. But now that I can go back and listen to the recording here. It was perfect. It was a perfect question for me, too. I did not submit it, but it was great.
It's so common. It's
so many
in
people.
Pregnancy and post, you're trying to just keep it together.
Yeah, totally. And if anything's hurting, I think this is a really good point, too. Whenever you're doing any kind of activity during pregnancy, whether it's yoga, whether it's exercise, anything, walking even, you really need to listen to your body. Your body is giving you clues as to when you're overdoing it, when you're doing too much. What are a few tips that you would give to a pregnant mom when it comes to yoga as far as overheating, staying hydrated, that type of thing?
My personal experience is to really only take classes that are not the heated yoga. I think our bodies are working hard enough producing a beautiful, beautiful baby and a soul in our belly that, you wouldn't go in the hot tub, right?
No.
You wouldn't go in a sauna.
Right.
So being mindful of, a lot of women say, oh, but I've been taking the hot classes forever. I'm going to stay with it. And I just invite them to say, you know what, for the next few months, I'm not going to take the hot classes. I'm going to slow down a bit. So always staying hydrated.
Yep.
Always number one.
Yep.
If your bladder's full, don't stay in the class. Go to the bathroom.
Right.
That's important.
Right.
And always find that balance of where does it feel good to go deep, but you always have those relaxants in you when you're pregnant.
Yes.
And we don't want to push it too far. And then where do we come out and say, this feels like a really good place? And it's going to change every day.
Yeah, well, that's the point. It's like, and I say this with exercise too, with exercise, typically you're used to getting better and better as you progress through the pregnancy. When I say better and better, being able to push yourself further and further. Sometimes with pregnancy, it's the reverse. You need to back off a little bit as your belly grows, as you get bigger. It may be a slowing down process that you need to accept, and it's still fine.
Yeah, it's huge. And that's, a lot of that, I just have to use the word, sometimes just that ego, like I don't want to change my life.
Right.
Well, your life's about to change.
Get over it. Get over it. Your life's changing. It's great practice because life is not going to be the same anymore.
Yeah. Why do you think I'm 36 years old and I've never given birth? I mean, I do this for a living and I'm like, I like my life. Oh, shoot, if I get pregnant and have a baby, things might change.
Oh, Sarah, it changes. Believe me. One of the questions that came in was from Amanda in Texas. I think Amanda's in the chat room. Amanda is asking, she's Dolphin 4176. I saw her before. Hi, Amanda. Okay, so Amanda asked us, I have very bad varicose and spider veins. Will yoga help during pregnancy keep them from getting worse?
Circulation. So important. Legs up the wall. So, whether you do this on your own bed or in a yoga studio, but propping up your hips a little bit, getting your legs up the wall for, anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. Some moms don't love it that long. Other moms could stay for 10 to 15.
Yes.
We want blood to be moving in and out, in and out. And of course, you need to be checking in with your care provider to see if you need to be wearing those oh so sexy tights.
The support hose, we fit them in our store, But yeah, one of the things that happens during pregnancy, and Sarah touched on it before, is the relaxin that is in your body. And so the veins are relaxed, and the pressure from the baby as the baby gets bigger and the pressure on the pelvic vessels helps. It prevents the blood from flowing back up towards the heart, and so it can pool into the veins in the legs. And one of the best things, like Sarah said, is getting your legs up on the wall, and increasing your circulation. Whatever you can do to improve your circulation is obviously going to help. It doesn't mean that it's going to prevent everything. Some things are just not preventable, but we can obviously help to make it better and not get any worse. So I can't see it harming. It can only help.
Absolutely. And again, being in tune with your body when you know you're taking it too far.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next question came from Tracy Rodkey in Pennsylvania. Hello, Tracy. I saw you in the chat room too. Tracy said, okay, this was interesting. Tracy asked, before my last pregnancy, she suffered 2 first trimester miscarriages. And we did a whole show on miscarriage and loss, and so a lot of us are in the same situation. We understand where she's coming from. She finds herself worrying a lot with the well-being of her baby, especially in the first trimester, but throughout the second trimester as well. Will yoga help to relieve some of her fears during the pregnancy?
Again, it's that place of stepping onto your yoga mat and connecting with your baby that you're pregnant with, and talking to your baby and being with your baby, and maybe being in a classroom where the woman next to you has experienced the same thing.
Yeah.
And having that open format as hopefully your yoga teacher will give you about sharing, any pregnancies or losses that you've had. And then as we move into the second trimester and that worry is still there, you take the time again to inhale and exhale, connect to your baby, and you'll be amazed at how much the word trust comes in, how much you can soften around it, and you can really take on anything that comes in your way of life. The mountains we have to climb, the times that we have to cry, you have a safe place to do it. I really stress for first trimester, gain weight, get cozy, take naps. When you're ready to step on your yoga mat, maybe in second trimester, it'll feel good. And never do anything that feels like it doesn't, intuitively work for you and your baby.
Are there any absolute poses that you should stay away from during pregnancy?
That's a tough one. It's a tough question because there are yoga instructors that I have seen all over the world who are practicing every pose all the way to 40 to 41 weeks.
Yeah.
I really want to stress to go to a prenatal class that talks about the modifications. So I am a very, very firm believer in not twisting, especially in the first to second trimester.
Yep.
And you could do a little just open twists, but, cranking. And then just like we do in our menstrual cycle as yogis and yoginis, we don't go into any inversions. So again, the first and the second trimester. And inversions, I'm meaning literally those postures that a lot of us are challenged with, standing on our heads.
Yeah, I can't imagine being 40 weeks pregnant and standing on my head.
No.
Not
and then that's when you actually can do it. It's more beneficial then for you and baby
Absolutely.
than it is first and
No,
second.
I didn't mean that you couldn't. I just mean I can't imagine me standing on my head when I was 40 weeks pregnant.
I couldn't imagine not doing it even when I'm doing it when I'm not pregnant. So there you go.
There you go. That's true too. That's true too. At the end of our evening, we've actually gone over. Can you imagine?
No, not like my classes never go over.
I'm sure they do.
I have to be got done at 7:15.
Yeah.
I gotta go. And then no, if it was 7:25.
I can just picture you in your class. Nobody's gonna want to leave. I could see that they just want to stay and hang out with you.
So much fun, and it's hard when they're cozy and laying in meditation, all curled up. It's Minnesota. I don't want to wake them up and get their boots on and go slug out into the snow.
No, it's probably so nice and warm in your studio, and I'm not talking about the heat. So you are something special, and I'm really glad that we met, and I'm really glad that you were here with us for tonight. This was a topic.
Oh, what an honor. I can't wait to give you a big hug one day, and just for everyone out there, keep supporting positive birth, keep supporting yoga. You have the time, I'm talking 2 minutes a day, to sit and find your breath. If that's in the car, hands on the belly, just embrace the inhale and the exhale.
Sara, thank you again for a wonderful, wonderful evening. I'm giving you a virtual hug right now. I hope you can feel it.
Me back. You and give Joe a high five. Tell him he rocks.
There he goes. High five, Joe. All right, that's from Sara. Good night, Sara. We'll talk to you soon.
We will talk soon. My love to everyone, and keep up the great work.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. All right, we'll talk soon. Sleep tight, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, good night. Okay, to everybody, good night. We had a wonderful, wonderful time. Did you guys enjoy the show? Yes, I had a fantastic time. I mean, I feel super relaxed. I don't know about you, but I'm going to have a great night's sleep tonight. We're going to sleep fantastic. Joe's going to be like, you were snoring all night. Who cares? I'm sleeping. What do I know, right? I love you guys. I'm so happy that you were here with me, all my favorite people. And we love you guys. Have a wonderful night. Go kiss your babies. Mwah.